Currently, more than 77% of Americans believe and support that all women should have equal access to the legal right of abortion. The fear of the violation for women comes from the stance and position of pro choice. As cited in the National Library of Medicine, the movement of pro choice has influenced the mind and the body of women. Powerful laws and nonprofits are what support these women along the way of their reproductive journeys. I will be exploring the background at what the difference is between pro-choice and pro-life. I will also be going through the history of Roe v. Wade and the nonprofit called the NARAL that supports the pro-choice stance. As you can see in this image below, this is a picture of people protesting and having a sign that reads, "My body, my choice." This is a stance that people perceive, and I will more in depth talk about the two stances. According to Tom Heed, a writer from ThoughtCo, he goes in depth about the importance of pro-life and pro-choice. Pro-choice is defined as the belief that everyone has the basic human right to decide when and whether to have children. Pro-choice means it is okay to have the ability to choose abortions as an option for an unplanned pregnancy, even if you wouldn't choose abortion for yourself. Many pro-choice supporters believe that everyone should have access and support to birth control, sex education, Planned Parenthood, and many more. Now, I will be talking about the stance that does not support abortions. Pro-life is defined as the belief that the termination of pregnancy of life is not okay. The people who support the pro-life generally only care about the life of the fertilized egg, embryo, or fetus. Pro-life supporters are less concerned about the life of women. In fact, many people who call themselves pro-life supporters are opposed to child welfare. They also do not want you to have access to things like birth control and contraceptives. This image has a sign that reads, "I am pro-choice because abortion is never an easy choice. Sometimes the right choice is always a woman's choice." This is important because abortion is never an easy choice for women and they should be able to have access to it. And this sign is basically the stance of pro-choice. Now I will be talking about the importance of abortions and how it started from two people. As cited, Cornell Law in depth takes a look at the importance of the two ladies Roe versus Wade. As you can see in this picture, these are the ladies that are the front of Roe versus Wade, and they are standing in front of the building that they claimed justice in front of. In 1973, Roe versus Wade was a landmark decision of the U.S. Supreme Court in which the court ruled that the Constitution of the United States protects a pregnant woman's liberty to choose to have an abortion without restriction. This law struck down many U.S. federal and state abortion laws and prompted an ongoing national debate in the United States about whether and what extent abortion should be legal. Roe versus Wade reshaped Americans' political standpoints, dividing much of the United States into two stances, an anti-abortion and a pro-abortion, and these were both two movements on both sides. This law made abortions legal and safe and allowed women to have access to abortions. Now that we have gone over what gave women the rights to abortion, we will move on to a nonprofit foundation that supports women in access to safe and legal abortions. The NARAL is a pro-choice foundation that promotes freedom throughout 20 states. According to prochoiceamerica.org, the NARAL is over 2.5 million members strong. The NARAL is abbreviated for the National Association for the Repeal of Abortion Laws, but after 1973, when Roe v. Wade was legalized, they changed the name in 1994 to the National Abortion Rights Action League. The mission of it was to prevent unwanted pregnancies and advocate for healthy pregnancies and healthy children. The NARAL fights for reproductive freedom for every woman. Every day, this foundation protects the freedom of women by helping them to gain access to birth control, abortion care, paid parental leave, and protections from pregnancy discriminations. The NARAL helps advocate people on the dangerous effects of some of the anti-choice policies that have been tried to get passed but have successfully gotten denied. The NARAL is an important foundation because they help the woman in need. This foundation also offers immense support for the women who go through these hard times. Abortions have been proven to be physically, mentally draining on women, and the foundation helps these women get all the help that they need. After all, abortion is constantly a reproductive right that we have to deal with in our everyday lives. The movement of pro-choice is a highly effective stance on the reproductive rights because it allows women to have freedom and a right to their body. The foundation and the landmark decision and law are two things that support women and their rights, but also the people. The people also do have a very important pro-founding stance, and this is important for women's rights. Doing more in-depth research on this movement has allowed me to gain more knowledge of my reproductive rights. I have learned so much about the rights that I have and the rights that have been violated in the past. It is a shock to me how we have come to the terms of pro-choice. I'm proud to say that I'm lucky to have nonprofits and foundations who take a stance on protecting my rights and women's rights. I feel that these foundations and nonprofits are highly appreciated by men and women. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation, and I hope that you learn the real difference between pro-choice and pro-life. Bye-bye.